位观众朋友，大家晚上好，欢迎收看我们今天的百格特备直播专访节目，我是你的主持人丽珍。今天呢，我们的嘉宾就是最近从巫统跳槽到公正党的赛夫丁，他的离开引起了一些反应。巫统里有人称他为垃圾，也有人叫他青蛙，更有人质疑过去他的忠诚。到底赛夫丁是宝还是草？今天我们诚邀各位荧幕前的朋友一起来探讨。就像百格过去的直播节目，我们也将收集大家的问题，欢迎大家踊跃发问。上一次的直播专访有很多网民纠结在于到底应该用英文啊还是马来文来发问。这一次呢，我就请大家呢，如果真的有问，就直接用中文来发问，我们这边尽量来翻译，也希望我们不会扭曲朋友们的原意。但是为了节目的流程，最好还是用英文来发问。OK。Good evening, Dato. Thank you for joining us today at our show.
Thank you.
It's an honor to have you here. Okay, let's just cut to the chest. Well, Saifuddin Abdullah on the hot seat. Today in the parliament, we just have seen a glitch in Pakatan Harapan. I'll call it a glitch because of the motion of no confidence against the Prime Minister, how it was being tabled has actually become an issue today. Do you have any comment on this?
Well, I'm only about less than a week
into that's true.
Pakatan and Keadilan. Probably is too early for me to comment. But suffice for me to say that, well, at least we do things in the open. We are very frank and sometimes we are very candid about certain things. I guess that's better. At least the rakyat know what's happening than doing everything behind closed doors. And suddenly you know someone has been dropped from the cabinet or something like that.
Well, this is a very interesting perception. So doing things or having disputes, settling disputes in the open is actually why you join, is actually one of the reasons that you joined.
Well, of course not.
Keadilan.
Well, of course not. Of course
yeah,
not. I joined Keadilan for something bigger than that. Yeah. All I'm trying to say is that no political party is perfect. No coalition is perfect. Yeah, I think we all have our weaknesses, and perhaps there are ways to improve things in the future.
But don't you think it's important for a political coalition to be able to pull their act together?
Well, I suppose yes, it is, and perhaps that's the reason why today Pakatan Harapan had their first presidential council meeting, chaired by Dr. Wan Azizah, and I think work is in progress and things would be better.
You think so?
Yes, I'm quite optimistic.
Well, because when you said you had this statement, I read it on your Facebook, your niat and idealism in joining PKR, Keadilan. You mentioned something about political change. We all know that by now, after the 13th general election, we know that any form of change requires a lot of political will, and on top of that, maybe a lot of other factors. Do you think Pakatan Harapan or Keadilan could actually deliver this change?
There are two things here. One is the seriousness and commitment to change. The other one is the actual change that is going to take place. I think on the side of Pakatan, they are more committed, at least from the way I look at it. Because I believe there are two big changes that have to be carried out. Yeah, number one is political change. Number two is institutional reform. In terms of political change, this is not just about a change of guard in Putrajaya. It is about changing the political system, the political configuration. I'll give you an example. Barisan Nasional is using a configuration known as constitutionalism.
Yes.
Which is basically race-based politics or communal politics.
Yes.
So everything is bargained from the perspective of ethnic or race, and you divide work according to race. UMNO take care of the Malay, MIC take care of the Indian, Chinese is taken care of, or MCA is supposed to take care of the Chinese. Yeah, this work for some period.
Yes.
Perhaps just after independence and until maybe 20 years ago. But things have changed. People are looking for a new configuration, which is called centripetalism, which is basically about being moderate, being centrist, and which is more important, multiracial. And I think this is where the Pakatan or PKR in my case is much ahead. And then there is the institutional reforms. Now, I give you an example, local government election.
Yes.
Yeah. Penang state government tried using the legal way.
Yes.
Until they reach the federal court.
Yes.
And then the federal court said, no, you cannot do a local government election. All right. Selangor did it another way by actually appointing a non-politician as councillors, and they have done that for a couple of years now.
Yes.
They still have NGO activists on the council. Well, you compare that to BN, it's a no-no. Local government election is a no story. Yeah. So that's why I said, to the best of my understanding, reform seems to be something that Pakatan political parties
is heading
to.
Yeah, but it's very interesting when you talk about the component, like when you talk about the word that you used just now.
Centripetalism.
Centripetalism. But because if you look at the component of Pakatan Rakyat, which has failed, it is actually formed by, yes, keadilan claims to be multicultural, to be more diversified, but to the very end, it's still a very Malay race political party, as well as DAP, and we still need that component, that race component in Pakatan Rakyat, and it still fail. So how can you claim that now you are, or the political party that you are joining, it's in a better position?
Well, number one, even if you look at PAS, yeah, I know it is religious based.
Yes.
Practically all members are Muslim and Malays. But credit must also be given to PAS. I think in the last GE, they did field a non-Muslim as a candidate. They have announced to field a non-Muslim in the Sarawak state election. They have at least seriously started Friends of PAS or something, which is open to non-Malays and non-Muslim. DAP has made a lot of effort in bringing more Malays to the party. Yeah. PKR, at least at the Supreme Council, you can see that it is multiracial. Yes, I understand at the grassroots it's still predominantly Malay, but efforts are being made and people are discussing about making Pakatan, or even if it is not the whole of Pakatan, member parties are trying very hard to become really multiracial. Not something that I listen to, not at least in the discourses within UMNO and Barisan National. Yeah, in Barisan, I suppose only Gerakan is pushing for BN becoming a single party and something like that. Yeah.
Okay. See, you are very optimistic about Pakatan Harapan, about keadilan being multiracial, about realizing your higher ground of political objective. But we have seen people, very good people that joined PKR and left. The internal politicking is an issue that perhaps we can't really neglect or we can't deny. Are you worried that you might be a victim of the internal politicking?
Well, no party is really free from internal politicking. You just have to face it.
Yes.
And I hope I will have the patience, just like the patience that I had in UMNO. I stayed very long in UMNO, almost 30 years.
30 years is really, really long.
Yeah.
Yes, that brings us to the juicy part of our interview today, because yes, we want to know why you joined PKR, and you have been very open and frank about why you joined PKR, but why did you leave UMNO?
Okay, as I have said in my statements earlier, or at least in my Facebook, which was picked up by friendly media, I joined politics for a higher objective.
Yes.
Based on my own intention and my own idealism. I believe in making Malaysia great again. Malaysia used to be a great nation. It's not rocket science to make Malaysia great again. You just have to put things in order, including the political system. And to the best of my understanding, I have been attending many discussions, town hall meetings all around the country. I hear the people are talking. People are ready and people are wanting real change.
Yes.
They speak in different language. The narratives can be so different, but the root word is change, and they want real change. Yeah, civil society is also asking for change. Opposition parties used to be PR, now Pakatan Harapan, also talk about change. I have been talking about change myself. I have written about it. I've discussed about it since 2006, and I see that perhaps this side is more committed. Whereas within UMNO, I'm not saying that they are not talking about change at all.
Yes.
Yeah, but it is not as substantive. It is not as comprehensive as I see it coming from the opposition party, coming from the civil society, and coming from the people. And I think I have to, be very sure of what I want to do. If I really want to impact change, where should I be?
You should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, but apparently my viewers share my similar mind, because I asked this before the show. How long did Dato take to switch to Pakatan, to make the decision to switch to Pakatan? Did you discuss this with your followers?
Well, I'm not really someone who have, followers and things like that. I mean, I have friends. I never regard myself as a leader with followers. But I think the turning point was really the big scandals. The two big scandals, rather.
Yes.
One is the way the government and UMNO and BN deal or handle the 1MDB case. It's not the 1MDB case per se, because 1MDB has been there since 2009, 2010. But the way we handle it, I think they handle it. Now I have to say they handle it very badly. Yeah.
What is not right about them? I mean, what way did they handle it that you think it's problematic?
While people were already talking about the scandal, I went on record in a Malaysia Kini interview, still defending the Prime Minister.
Yes.
And I got flux for that. And I said, well, the 1MDB is still under investigation. Please, be fair and wait for the investigation. All right? But after that, what happened was something else. The Prime Minister chose to sack his Deputy Prime Minister, another Cabinet Minister. You sack the AG, you transfer two MACC officers, you transfer the Chief of the Special Branch, and rumours have it that the Governor of Bank Negara was harassed and so on. And I'm not a lawyer, you are a lawyer. And you know that justice must be
seen to be done,
and I don't see justice is being done. Now, how can you then eventually, when the 1MDB report is out, how can you then still think that the report is independent, is fair, when you see that there is a gross intervention in the process of the investigation? But the second one is easier to decide. 2.6 billion donation, according to the law, is corruption.
To your personal knowledge, is there a certain faction claims that that the president of the party actually hold it on trust for the party as a political donation? Do you think does this stand?
I understand the notion of a trust fund, but Dr. Mahathir has made it public that it was never under his personal account. And to the best of my knowledge, when Pak Lah was UMNO president, he didn't deposit the money under his personal account. So when even the deputy president, Tan Sri Muhyiddin, didn't have a clue of what that 2.6 billion ringgit was, I don't think that was a trust fund.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Yeah.